Okay, going over exponent rules. When they have the same base and you multiply it, we have two of the 3's and 4 3's, so you have a total of 6 3's. So remember, multiplying with the same base, you actually add the exponents, so you get 3 to the 6th. And I want you guys to use your calculators on this to go ahead and simplify what that equals all the way. So I take 3 to 6 in my calculator to get 729. Okay, now negative is in parentheses, so when you put this in your calculator, you want to make sure to put the negative in parentheses. So in parentheses, -4, then to the 4th power. Because a negative times a negative times a negative times a negative actually gets to be a positive. So you see it's a positive there, 256. So if it's an even exponent, it will turn positive. If it's odd, it will stay negative. So careful of that. This one you can solve two ways. You can distribute the 2, or you can just do order of operations. 2 times 3 I know is 6, and 6 squared is 36. But like I said, you can distribute the 2 to get 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, and then multiply those together will get you 36 as well. Okay, here we're adding exponents when you multiply. So you're taking 7 plus -3, which is 4, and then go ahead and solve 2 to the 4th all the way to get your 16. So you can do the negative, take care of the negative first if you want, but I like to just multiply together and then take care of negatives if there are any. But see how there aren't any, so I didn't have to do anything else. Okay, the r's are the same number, so that means I add exponents. 9 plus 2, r to the 11th. When you have a power to power, you multiply. So 3 times -4 is -12. And you can't have a negative when you're done solving, so I have to put that in a fraction, and that 12 becomes positive when I move it to the other side of our fraction. Okay, number 7, a really common little mistake is forgetting to put the exponent on the number in front. So that you get 3 to the 4th and d to the 4th. The exponent goes on every number in the parentheses, 3 to the 4th and d to the 4th. And simplify that by taking 3 to the 4th. In your calculator you get 81, or you can do it in your head or by hand. But I'm just using my calculator so I can go quickly. So 81 d to the 4th power. Okay, here I'm going to take care of the negatives first. Now remember, this 2 is not attached to that x. It's 2 times the x times the y. They're all separated by multiplication. The 2 really has a positive exponent of 1. We just don't write that. So that 2 stays on the top. That's the next most common mistake, is students will bring that 2 down with the x, but they are not attached together. So the 2 stays since it has a positive exponent. X comes down, and the y comes down since they have negative exponents to make them positive. These are all different bases, so I cannot combine any further. It's simplified. Number 9, I distribute this exponent onto both numbers inside. So m to the -6 and n to the -6. Can't have negatives as a result, so I need to bring that down to become a positive and bring that one down to become a positive. So I don't have negatives in my final answer. And those are all unlike bases, so I can't simplify any further. Alright, so here I kind of do my canceling out. So all 7 of these x's are going to cancel out with 7 down here. So I take those 11 x's on the bottom and I subtract the 7 that get canceled out. Since the x's are on the bottom, my answer is going to be on the bottom. 11 minus 7 is going to give me 4. X to the 4th. Again, you can just subtract 7 minus 11 to get -4, and then bring it down to take care of the negative. Alright, so let's distribute this exponent. It goes on the 7 and on the 2. It goes on the number on the top and the bottom of our fraction. So we have the -7 to the 5th power. I just put the negative in parentheses to remind me it's a negative. And when I put it in my calculator, I want to put it in parentheses. It's an odd exponent, so it will stay negative this time, but I always just want to check if I put it in parentheses. So I get that big number there, -16807, and 2 to the 5th is going to be 32. And then see if you can reduce that at all, which it looks like it cannot be reduced, so I'll just leave it like that. Alright, 12, we distribute this exponent to the top letter, a to the 2, already has a 2, so you multiply. 2 times -4 is -8. Don't forget, power to power, you multiply. And then the -4 goes on the b as well on the bottom, so b to the -4. Notice they're both negative exponents, so I need to switch them. Bring the b up to be positive, bring the a down to become positive. Alright, so the last 4 problems are the big tricky ones. I like to multiply across first. 3 times 4 is 12. Find the bases, the like terms here. And then there's 1x here, so x times x to the third, x to the fourth by adding those exponents. I have a y here, there's no y's there, so it stays y to the fourth. Alright, 9, and there's no 9 here, so that stays in 9. X to the fourth, and 1x there is x to the fifth. Y to the sixth and y to the eighth, add those together to get y to the 14. Okay, now dividing, I'm going to simplify these. I have 12 over 9. That can be reduced. 3 goes into both of them. 12 divided by 3 is 4, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So I get the fraction 4/3 to reduce that. These 4 x's cancel out with 4 of the x's down here. So these ones go away. 5 minus 4, I'm left with 1 x on the bottom. I'm not going to write that little 1, it's not needed. And these 4 y's cancel out with 4 of the y's down here, leaving me with 10 y's on the bottom. Again, you can just subtract the numbers, but you're going to get negatives, so after you get negative exponents, you need to move them down to make them positive exponents. Okay, number 14 here, and get a separate piece of paper to write this down on. So first I'm going to distribute that 4 to everything inside the parentheses. Even the numbers, remember the numbers get their own exponent. The negative to the fourth, m already has a 2, so I multiply 2 times 4 is 8, and n to the fourth. And then 3 to the fourth, m to the fourth, 4 times 4, n to the 16th. And then I divide, well I'm going to simplify this. Negative 2 to the fourth power, so negative 2 to the fourth power is going to be positive 16. And 3 to the fourth power is going to be 81. And then these 4 m's cancel out with 4 m's up here. So I have 4 left on the top. And these 4 n's cancel out with 4 down here. So I'm left with 2 on the bottom. And then I can reduce this fraction. Oh, I can't reduce that fraction actually. Looking at that, I do not see anything that I can reduce. Oh, I see that I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm going too fast. Did you guys catch my mistake going through? 4 times 4 is 16. I wrote a 6 instead of a 16. I just forgot my 1 there. So 16 minus 4 will give me 12. There we go. This can't be reduced. Those are different letters, different bases. So that is now simplified. Alright, number 15. So first thing I'm going to do is distribute this 4. So I'm going to keep everything else the same. Rewrite the problem, all the stuff that I'm not simplifying yet. Take it one step at a time. Distribute this 4 to the 2, to the fourth. 4 to the x, it already has a 2, so you multiply. And distribute that 4 to the y. Okay, now I'm going to actually just make it, I'm going to solve this to the fourth here, which is 16. There's not another number here to multiply it by. I'm going to multiply the rest across, so x and x to the 8 is an x to the 9. And add the exponents here, 8 plus the 4 gives me 12, over 5 times 4 on the bottom is 20, x to the third, so I add those to get 6. Y to the 6th and y to the 1 is y to the 7th. Okay, this one I can reduce now. 16 over 20. They both are divisible by 4. So I divide 16 by 4 and 20 by 4 to get 4 over 5. And then these 6 cancel out with 6 of those. I get x to the third. These 7 cancel out with 7 of those, so 12 minus 7 is going to be 5. Y to the 5th power. Alright, last problem. This is the hardest one. So I'm first going to distribute that negative 3 to everything. So I write the first part of the problem, it doesn't change. Oops, that's not negative, that's a normal 3. Alright, distribute this negative 3. So that already has a 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So these both get negative 6. Don't forget to distribute it to this 3 here, 3 to the negative 3, and negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 3. Negative 3 times 1, negative 1 is positive 3. Alright, now I'm going to multiply across. So 9, there's not another like term here, so I keep it as a 9. This w to the 1 and this w to the negative 6, I add. 1 plus negative 6 is negative 5. The z, I add negative 2 plus negative 6, which is negative 8. Now if you have trouble with negatives, I recommend going ahead, flopping these around so you have all positives before you multiply them. So you can switch all the negatives so you have positives and then multiply. Alright, w to the negative 3, there's no w here, so it stays to the negative 3. And then my z to the 3 and z to the 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6, and this 3 to the negative 3 here. Okay, now I'm going to circle all the ones with negatives. Those are the ones I'm going to flip around. So that means my 9 is going to stay where it is, and my z to the 6 is going to stay. I bring my 3 to the 3 up top. Remember, this is all multiplication. W to the 5 down, z to the 8 down, w to 3 up. So all the ones I circled, I switched what side they're on, changing their exponents to positive exponents. So let's see, what is 3 to the 3rd then? That's going to give me 27, so I have 9 times 27. And now I'm going to look at my w's. These 3 cancel out with these 3 w's. So I'm left with 2 of them on the bottom. 5 minus 3 is 2. And the z's, I can add these together. 8 plus 6, I have 14 z's. And then I take on the top, final simplification, 9 times 27, which is 243 over w squared z to the 14. So that was the hardest problem. If you were able to do that on your own, you are set for our quest tomorrow.